Liverpool 3, Atletico Madrid 2. The Reds kick off their Champions League campaign in once again extremely dramatic style. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Fletch Talks live stream. How are we all doing today? How are we all on this incredible Thursday afternoon? I hope we're all doing well. We're here to talk Liverpool. We're here with kind of a brand new format, if you hadn't guessed. Talking Red. That is the name of anything and everything to do with Liverpool that we're going to be discussing mainly. Anything Liverpool, it's going to have this around it. So, yeah, we're trying to branch out. We're trying new different things. So we're getting there. But the main bulk of this whole thing, like I say, is we're talking Liverpool. We're talking Liverpool's incredible win last night. Goals from, I don't know whether it was credited to Andy Robertson on an own goal, but either way, one of those two scored for Liverpool. Mo Salah scored an incredible second, mere seconds later. And then Atletico fought back. They got back to 2-1. They made it 2-2. And then for another game running, Liverpool in injury time get the winning goal. Virgil van Dijk, the skipper, the captain, rising, towering ahead of everybody else. Bullet header. And Liverpool are once again victorious and kick off their Champions League campaign with a victory. Incredible scenes of absolute glorious emotion. Liverpool once again find a way to win in a game in which was annoying, somewhat frustrating, but at the same time, we got a little hard done by. There was a bit of good fortune on Atletico's part. And if anybody's out there saying, oh, Liverpool get lucky again, Liverpool are fortunate again, you didn't watch the game. And we'll get on to why in a second. But as always with these videos and live streams, hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. Appreciate each and every single one of you being here. Hope you're all doing well. Hit up the chat as well. Like I say. Tell me where you're watching from today. Tell me what you're doing today. All of that good stuff. And, of course, most of all, talk to me about last night's game between Liverpool and Atletico, or any of the other Champions League games that you want to talk about. Any other football kind of related content that you guys want to discuss. Let me know what you guys are saying in the chat, whether it's about Chelsea's defeat. Maybe you saw that last night. Maybe there was other Champions League games that you were looking at. Maybe you're looking forward to tonight's Champions League games as well. Or maybe, just maybe, you were watching the incredible collapse of Nottingham Forest in the Carabao Cup last night, where they were 2-0 up against Championship side Swansea, only to lose 3-2, with 2 goals being scored in injury time by the Swans in Ange Postecoglou's next game in charge, shall we say. Forest throughout the Carabao Cup in incredibly dramatic fashion themselves. But no, Liverpool is what we're going to be focusing on. But of course, like I say, drop it how you want in the chat. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling. Big up, Marco. Hope you're doing well, my bro. It says Simeone lost it after Van Dijk's dagger. It was strange because Simeone was actually very calm and collected, it seemed, for the majority of the game. Even when things weren't exactly going according to plan, things were still calm and collected, it seemed, from Simeone. But then as soon as Van Dijk's header went in, I think someone said something from the crowd and he absolutely lost it. I don't know what it exactly was. I'm not saying that there isn't anything out there, but I've not seen anything out there to suggest what it could have been that made him kind of tip over the edge. But yeah, it seemed like someone had said something from the crowd, and he lost it. He absolutely lost it at that point. So I'm not sure whether it was justified or not, his reaction, but I'm sure something will fall out later on. So we shall see on that. How did Isak play? Isak, I thought, had an okay game. I don't think it wasn't amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but I wasn't expecting it to be anything outstanding, in all honesty, given the fact that, he's not match fit. I was a little surprised that he didn't come off the bench. I thought he would have done. And I thought Ekitike would have started tonight. It was the other way around. But I didn't think he played too badly. I thought it was clear he's not as sharp as he would like, but you could tell the signs were already there. He had one or two decent opportunities that weren't terrible. They weren't bad at all. But you can, like I say, you can clearly tell that with a bit more game time, a bit more sharpness into his game. Yeah, he can definitely. Well, I'm confident anyway that he will come good. So yeah, not his best game, but also not his worst. I didn't think anybody really played that badly yesterday, as we'll get into. But yeah, I thought Isak for his debut of 50 to 55 minutes, something along them lines. I didn't think he was too bad. There was definite signs there, and I thought Florian Wirtz enjoyed playing with Isak more than Ekitike. We'll obviously see how that all develops. We'll see what happens on Saturday. I think he'll do it the other way around on Saturday. I'm pretty confident Ekitike will start in the Merseyside derby and Isak will come on in the second half. But we'll see. We'll see, obviously, how that one plays out. Big up SM44, who says, bear with me 1 second. It says, hello, brother. How are you? My heart almost jumped out of my mouth yesterday. Big up yourself, bro. Glad that you're here with us. Glad that you're back. Really, really do appreciate that. I'm good, bro. Hope you are too. Let me know what you're up to today. Let me know where you're watching from. Yeah, I can understand why. We don't do things easily, do we? We don't do things easily. We definitely make it a little bit difficult for ourselves. But like I say, if anybody is out there saying that Liverpool got lucky, Liverpool were fortunate yet again to win it in the dying embers of the game, it's not the case. It's really not the case. We absolutely, well, for the most part, we dominated Atletico. We were the better team for most of it, I thought. We were very controlling of the game, I thought, for the most part. How their first goal stands, by the way, I've got no idea. I have no idea. I said on Saturday, I think I said Sunday or Monday, in looking back at the Chelsea versus Brentford game, the goal that Brentford scored, I said that Brentford's goal should not have stood. The guy's clearly in an offside position. Something similar happened here, where Griezmann is in line with Alisson's eyesight. The ball goes behind Griezmann across the goal into the far corner. And of course, that is disruptive of Alisson's sight of the ball. His presence being there is disruptive. So how the hell that goal is allowed to stand, I have no idea still. And it will get swept under the carpet because Liverpool end up winning the game. So to a lot of people, they will say it doesn't really matter. Liverpool still won. But we shouldn't still ignore it just simply because Liverpool won the game. We still need to call it out. We think our referees, our officials are bad in the English game. Well, last night the officials were poor because it wasn't just Atletico that benefited. We almost benefited ourselves from one of the most dodgiest penalty calls ever. No one claimed for a penalty. No one thought it was a penalty. But yet, I think it was the linesman who claimed there was a handball on the Atletico Madrid defender. It was never a handball, even by UEFA's own handball rules, which are very, very harsh at best. It was definitely not a handball, but yet Liverpool almost benefited from it. Luckily, the referee went over to the monitor, checked it. No penalty was given. The decision was eventually overturned. And obviously, Liverpool then didn't benefit from it. But the Atletico one was allowed to stand. And I, for one, honestly cannot get my head around, and well, neither could Alisson get his head around because Griezmann was in the way, how that goal was allowed to stand. Because, like I say, for the most part, Liverpool were in control. Liverpool were very, very good in terms of neutralizing, for the most part, Atletico. Yes, Atletico had a bit of the ball every now and again. Yes, they did look threatening every now and again, but there was no end product from Atletico. There was no real end product from them that made me... it didn't make me worry, if you know what I mean. It didn't make me scared or worried that we were going to necessarily lose the game. It was only through a goal that shouldn't have stood and a very fortuitous deflected goal. And I know that we got a very fortuitous deflected goal as well, but they scored a deflected goal from Llorente in the second half. Decent player, by the way. Seems to only score at Anfield, but whatever. A very fortuitous but very good goal in terms of if you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the lottery, do you? So in terms of that aspect, very good on Llorente's part, but there was never really a moment where I was worried. It just seemed like it was going to be a very frustrating game in which we're going to look back at a dodgy refereeing decision and a somewhat fortuitous goal from Atletico, because I thought for the most part we were actually decent. I thought there was no real player on that pitch that I was thinking underperformed. Maybe Cody Gakpo was a little underwhelming, but there was no player out there that I thought was poor, was terrible. I thought everybody had a decent enough game. I thought Gravenberch was amazing yet again. I thought Szoboszlai was very, very good again. Salah, you can tell he's getting there. He's getting there and he's getting there. He's getting back to his best Mo Salah. You could tell that he really, really enjoyed last night. He had a few decent opportunities. That incredible counter-attack in which he hits the post was so unlucky. But that was, again, another big thing about it. As much as we were controlling that game, we could have scored 3, 4, 5, 6 goals last night. It really could have been an incredible result for Liverpool. A lot more comfortable result than it obviously turned out to be in the end. But we just didn't take our chances. There was a number of them that we had. Ekitike in the second half. Salah, like I say, hitting the post. The Wirtz one in the first half where he just nudges it past the goalkeeper and Jeremy Frimpong just kicks thin air. If he makes contact with that ball, that's 3-0 and that is definitely game over. So there was so much to the game in which I think everybody had a decent game. Even Wirtz did. And again, he doesn't get a goal. He doesn't get an assist. So a lot of people are going to be like, oh, he didn't get a goal or assist. He's a flop. No, if you actually watch the game, Wirtz was a lot better last night. He not his best game, but definitely not his worst. And like I say, he could have had a couple of assists last night. Salah hitting the post from his pass. Frimpong kicking thin air from his setup. Like, there was so much there last night to really look at and to be really intrigued by and interested in. That it clicked a little bit last night. Not completely, but it started to click, and that is what I'm getting at with this whole we win games whilst being poor. So what happens when we actually start to play well? That is the big worry. And like I say, Isak arrived last night. Florian Wirtz was decent last night as well. It's looking good. it is looking really, really good. Ekatike missed a big chance in the end after Salah's assist. Absolutely. Frimpong did as well. We could have had 7 or 8 goals last night. It was a madness. Our attack just didn't finish off the chances, or the final ball not necessarily good enough, but it will come with time. It will come with time, 100%. Big up Balamu's in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're doing well, my bro. Lovely to have you here with us. Yeah, man, I'm good. I'm glad you are too, my bro. Big up Reluctant Gamer as well. Good luck tonight in your game against Barcelona. I'll be watching for sure. You did it again. Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, not through fortune or luck this time. Genuinely, they deserve it. Like I say, Atletico didn't really lay a glove on us, or didn't really give Alisson too much to do, in all honesty. Virgil van Dijk, last few minutes. Liverpool Origi winner this weekend. Why do they do these last minute winners this season so far? Another game, another streak. It is absolutely phenomenal what we are doing right now. We just never give up. We never say die. It's reminding me a little bit of Bayer Leverkusen already. Remember the Bayer Leverkusen undefeated title victory? That was full of last-minute goals and last-minute drama. So it's already reminding me a little bit of that. Maybe it's the Florian Wirtz, Jeremy Frimpong effect. Fletch, do you speak Portuguese? I do not, I'm afraid, mate. I do not. Fletch, do you like Cristiano? Can you do his Sue celebration? Absolutely not doing the celebration, but I have a lot of respect for Ronaldo in terms of what he's achieved and what he has done in this sport. Dragon is a good player. Salah goal against Everton. I hope Salah continues. And goes on this mad run now. Fingers crossed he does score. Simeone has now been manager of Atletico for 16 years. Does Atletico need Simeone more, or does Simeone need Atletico more? It's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. Like I do think maybe his time may be coming to an end soon. I do think maybe Atletico need to go in a different direction. It's incredible that, because you don't really get this kind of managerial longevity much in the game these days. So for him to have been there for so many years, it's incredible. But like I say, I think maybe it's a case of they need to move on, and it'll be interesting to see what Simeone's next move is if he does decide to stay in management, of course. Is Jose Mourinho going to Benfica? Yeah, he's already gone, bro. Did you reject Benfica manager job yesterday? What does your sources say? Like I say, I would take it on Football Manager. I would probably take the Benfica job on Football Manager. But yeah, I think he signed the contract today. He's going to be Benfica manager. So Mourinho's back in the game, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be an interesting story. I thought he'd be back in the Premier League, and I think I would have loved him back in the Premier League. But it seems the Portuguese league is the next destination for the special one. I got TNT for the first time ever. I'm looking forward to the game. Also got Sky Sports. Yeah, I remember you saying yesterday, bro. Hopefully it's going to be good for you. And like I say, tonight should be one hell of a game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure the atmosphere is going to be electric. I'm sure Newcastle are going to be up for the game as well. I'm sure they'll go feed off the energy of the crowd. And I'm sure that they're going to give Barcelona one hell of a good game. A physical game I'm expecting, but I'm expecting a very intriguing one as well. Flesh, do you work in KFC? I do not. Do you think Indy Kyler works in KFC as you do? I mean, after the summer he's had, bro, I'm pretty sure he's probably out there chasing transfer stories right now. Benfica won the KO match against Fener. No, I can't even speak. Knocking out Mourinho, yet Fenerbahce. It took me a while to work it out. I was like, yes, Fenerbahce. Duh. Knocking out Mourinho. Yeah, he ironically will now coach Benfica in the Champions League. Just having a look, see. Just having a look at yeah, I thought they did. I was just having a look at their games and seeing what English teams Benfica have. Of course, they've got Chelsea, which is going to be the second match day. So the special one is returning to Stamford Bridge, and and they've got Newcastle as well, and they have Real Madrid. So it's going to be a. Let's see who else they've got. Ajax, Leverkusen. So it's basically a tour of his old clubs for Mourinho there. Like they've got Chelsea and they've got Chelsea and Real Madrid coming up. So yeah, he's back in the Champions League. Is good old Jose, and the tournament benefits from having a character like him back in it. Do you see Fernando Torres as the next Atletico Madrid manager? It could happen. It depends if they want to. if Torres wants to go into that kind of era, and if Atletico Madrid want to take a chance on a manager like it could be anybody. It could be anybody. Depends how they want to go. How I was always like wondering, like after like so long at a club, how do you as a football club decide what direction to go in after having someone for so long at a club? This must be incredible. Atletico's midfield is kind of mid. It's Simeone's son and Gallagher. They played very well last night. They knocked the ball about pretty well. It was just there was nothing that scared me from a Liverpool perspective. Like I say, they had a fair amount of the ball. I think Liverpool at times let them have the ball, and they picked and chose their moments in which to obviously press and attack and stuff. But for the most part, I was not really worried. They didn't really test Alisson. They didn't really do anything to kind of penetrate the Liverpool back line. There was only really two moments in the game. There was a Llorente shot, which I think, again, deflected just over the bar. And, of course, there was that Sorloth header right at the end that kind of, like, made me think, oh, but even then, like, I trusted Alisson in goal because he is the best goalkeeper in the world. But apart from that, there was nothing really that I was worried about from Atletico's attacking perspective. I think the early goal really helped us. I think the early goal really did because it opened up Atletico a little bit. So the early goal really helped us. Then, of course, we got the second goal, which, was absolutely phenomenal. And then I thought, all right, get another goal and absolutely kill the game off. And we were so close on a few occasions to getting it. Didn't quite happen for us. They then get one back, which, again, I still don't understand how that was allowed to stand, but it was. And then, of course, they get the second goal in the second half after we should have maybe put the game to bed, but we didn't. And then, of course, up steps Virgil van Dijk. Last few minutes of the game, towering header, bullet header. The guy is a colossus, an absolute colossus. And people said he'd fall off this season. Well, you're wrong. Did you hear Did you hear and are aware of Indy Kyler working in KFC in the past? I wasn't until someone on one of these streams said it. So I can't remember who it was. I do apologize, but someone on one of these streams during the summer made a reference to Indy and KFC, and that's where that kind of hit from. So if I was a KFC, I would be 150 kilograms. Oh dear. Some of their food is good though. Some of their food, sometimes, if you get it right, if you get there at the right time, it can be good. Benfica have a very tough rest of the draw in the Champions League. It's brutal. Yeah, like I said, I was looking at some of their games: Chelsea, Newcastle, Porto. Not Porto, sorry, by Leverkusen. I think, obviously, like I said, Real Madrid's in there. I think Napoli's in there as well. So it is a very, very tough group of fixtures for the Portuguese side. Fletch is Googling KFC jobs with the war to work with any guy. Absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not. No offense, but I'll leave Indy with that. Fenerbahce at Benfica had 0 shots on goal in the final knockout match. Yeah, I remember that now because I put a bet on Benfica to win. Sorry, not Fenerbahce to win because I thought it's Mourinho. I would back Mourinho in this, but it just didn't happen. It just did not happen, and he eventually got the sack for it. I thought Mourinho would coach Portuguese national team. I thought he was holding out for that job. Actually, I didn't know where he would end up. To be fair, like I say, I wanted him back in the Premier League. I would have thought he would have come back there, but I could probably see him maybe finishing off his managerial career, maybe at the Portuguese national team. I think the national team it's seen as probably an area where he's yet to sort of experience or conquer. So we shall see. Roberto Martinez won Portugal's National League or something recently. Yeah, I mean, I don't really care for it. I don't really care for the Nations League, so who cares? I know that some people do. But I don't. Maybe it hasn't got enough prestige and history yet for me to care, but I just see them as glorified friendlies, in all honesty. A lot of Ronaldo fanboys are using it as a way to try and push their agenda and argument that Ronaldo is better than Messi. Messi has a World Cup, so they're incomparable. I'm here again to say your hair is fire. Appreciate you, Niche fam. Welcome along to the stream, my bro. Hope you're doing well. Let me know what you're up to today and where you're watching from. We're going to be in the top 4 as soon as we sack Amorim. Did you also say that when you sacked Ten Hag? Did you also say that when you sacked Mourinho, Van Gaal, Solskjaer, Moyes? Are we going through this again, bro? Are we really going through this again? By the way, I don't know if you did say that, by the way. I don't think you maybe here for when we did stuff like that. But I'm just saying, a lot of United fans were saying stuff like that before. It's not necessarily the manager, I don't think. I think it's the club, bro. Which team can be a true test for Liverpool in the Champions League? Interesting question. PSG, obviously. PSG, obviously, are the obvious standout ones. I wouldn't want to face another English club. I wouldn't want to face a Chelsea. I wouldn't want to face even a City or an Arsenal because we know how awkward they can be. So we know how big of a test that those teams can be. The Real Madrid team is not the Real Madrid team of old. Barcelona could give us a decent test, and that would be an absolutely incredible game. I really do hope we can run the clock back and face Barcelona again. So yeah, there are a few. There are a few there that I'm intrigued by. Bayern could be another intriguing game as well. Not one that I'm particularly worried about completely, but one that I think could be an interesting test. Yeah, Vladimir Kyler working in KFC and being an Indian guy is a rumor from the past, which is why someone went to an Indian worker in KFC and called him Indian. Okay. I don't know the backstory. All I knew of Indy Kyler was that he was, before this summer, an unreliable source that just spouted out anything and everything that was just seemingly completely made up. And then all of a sudden this year, he's had a completely new revamp. He's managed to get some unknown but seemingly very credible sources. And all of a sudden is now putting out absolute fire for the most part. There was still a couple of stories from him this summer that didn't quite get to light. But I guess you don't get 100% hit rate on everything. So, yeah, we shall see. Do you work at Hooters? No, I do not. Jose is back at Benfica. He absolutely 100% is. I think Big Ange will do a horrendous job at Forest, and yet that owner has such high expectations. Let's face it, he's only put Big Ange in charge because he's like his best mate. And not just that as well, but he plays a brand of football that Marinakis wants, or at least he attempts to play a brand of football that Marinakis wants, which he's not going to be able to deliver with the players that he's going to be given. And also, this is not exactly Big Ange's Forest. This is more Marinakis having his say and his kind of way, a way of input with not just what happens with Forest off the pitch, but also what happens with Forest on the pitch. I don't think it's going to work out. I think Forest could be in trouble. And as I said the other day, I think the plan might be eventually with Forest, from Ange's point of view, in order to keep his speech alive and kicking in terms of I always win something in my second season, to go down to the Championship and then bounce back up by winning the Championship. And then that way, of course, he wins something in his second season, and therefore he's not proven to be a liar. Having said that, though, they did lose to Swansea yesterday. They did lose to Swansea yesterday. Swansea won yesterday in the League Cup. Will they play Grimsby Town next? Like I say, Grimsby are the talk of the tournament so far. We shall see what happens. Do you get why Mourinho said that finishing second with Man United was his biggest achievement, bigger than winning the Champions League? Not at the time, and I don't think a lot of us did. But as time has progressed, hindsight is obviously a very lucrative and very valuable aspect. But now I think in hindsight, having looked at the squad, having looked at what happened after Mourinho, you can kind of understand why he would regard that as his biggest achievement. Still think he's somewhat wrong, but it was still a big achievement nonetheless. Nations League, no, but when you are in the final, you want to win it. If I remember, I remember Yamal was gutted when he lost the Nations League final. When you're a top player, you want to win all prizes that exist. Yeah, I guess when you are in the final, you want to win. I guess when you are in the final, you do want to win, regardless of what kind of tournament it is. Even the Community Shield, I guess if you are in the Community Shield, you still want to win it. It's not the end of the world if you don't, but you still obviously want to win it. But yeah, I get your point, but at the same time, I personally just don't see the value in the Nations League. I just think it's like a glorified friendly tournament. It's like the Audi Cup or the Emirates Cup or whatever kind of cup you get in pre-season. Inter away should be that. Yeah, I forgot about Inter away, to be fair. Yeah, Inter away should be an interesting test, nonetheless. Rizney, I hope you're doing well, my bro. Lovely to have you here. You really, really like saying hi. Big up to you, my bro. Big old Luca Talks Dons is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're doing well, my bro. Lovely to have you on board with us. Love that you're here, my dude. Hope you are well, my friend. Let me know what you're up to today. Guys, go and subscribe to Luca's channel. Doing some brilliant stuff over there. Talks a lot of MK Don stuff. So if you want to broaden your horizons on MK Dons and things that are happening with and around MK Dons, then go over there. But he also talks a little bit of Arsenal as well. From time to time, so there will be something for everybody there. Do you think we beat Man City? Is Gyökeres playing? Is Gyökeres playing? Because I don't. Because I don't know if it will be like, is it like concussion injuries protocol or anything like that, or I'm not 100% sure. Gyökeres is fit. No worries. Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. I did watch along for the Bayern game yesterday. Nice. I was unfortunately I was at work, but I had the Liverpool game on in the background, so I was able to watch it. Gyökeres is fit. Gyökeres is fit. Okay, that's cool. I think you will win. I obviously want a draw out of the game. It will obviously benefit Liverpool greatly if a draw could be reached between you two. But having said that, I think Arsenal do win. I think Arsenal do win. I think they'll create enough chances. I think a lot of people are gassing up City's win last weekend's Man United. Man United weren't great. Man United was so poor in that game. But having said that, Man United did create a number of opportunities. And because they created a number of opportunities, Arsenal being a better team, more creative, and of course having better finishers as well, I think Arsenal will have a better time of it than what Man United did, because Man United created a number of opportunities but just couldn't take them. So I think Arsenal will be more prolific in that sense. I think they'll be more consistent in front of goal in that sense. And I think that, Arsenal will get the job done on Sunday. I think you will win. I think being at home as well puts you in a... You are at home, aren't you? I'm sure you're at home. I just said that and I've doubted myself instantly. I want to say you're at home. Yes, you are. You being at home as well, I'm pretty sure that you will get the job done. When is your prediction video out? This evening? Either be this evening or tomorrow. It will be one of the. It will either be this evening or tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure yet. My only worry is Donnarumma. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that's your only worry. You never know. Haaland was decent last week, and it wasn't just decent in terms of goal scoring, but he was decent all round. I thought that was one of the most complete games that I've seen from Erling Haaland in a long time. However, like I mentioned before, is that just simply because it was Man United? Potentially. But I still don't rate City's midfield. I thought it would be better, and I think in certain aspects it is with bringing in Reinders. But there is still doubts over Rodri. There are still doubts over Bernardo Silva and that aspect of it. And City's defence still look terrified. Like I say, they've got a quality goalkeeper now, so they've at least got something to fall back on a little bit, like you mentioned. But there'll still be a threat going forward. There's still going to be causing food for thought there. But like I say, I think you'll create a number of opportunities, because if United can, you certainly can. So I think you'll be fine. Will you watch Newcastle, Barca tonight, or Man City, Napoli? I think out of the two, I probably would choose Newcastle, Barca. I think I'm at work again tonight, so I'll have that on in the background again. I'd probably watch Newcastle, Barca, but the Man City Napoli game is very intriguing because I can see Napoli getting something out of that game. I really, really can see Napoli getting something out of that game. It's going to be very intriguing to watch both of those games, to be fair. But I'm picking Newcastle because the spectacle of Newcastle taking on Barcelona, and plus I think Newcastle definitely can get something against that Barcelona team. UEFA just confirmed we were the most watched team in the world again. Hated, adored, never ignored, United forever is what Niche Fan says here. Watch for all the wrong reasons, bro, though. Like, yeah, I get it. Hated, adored, never. Yeah. I get it. Yeah, I get it. I think we win because we're at the Emirates. Can't rule out City, though. Don't know what City will turn up. Exactly. I couldn't agree more, bro. That's a very fair and honest take. Like I say, I think you basically do really, really well in terms of creating opportunities. I think if you go with the right team as well, that will help. If Eze is playing as well, that will be a big plus. If you make the right decisions, especially on the counter attack, because I think the way that you beat City is, and I know that this might sound a bit hypocritical, considering that, you know, a lot of people have called you out for the way that you played against United this way, and you played against Liverpool in the same way. But if you sit back, soak up the pressure that City are going to try and deliver onto you, if you hit them on the counter-attack, you'll terrify them because they can't defend. They cannot defend. So if you manage to break the press, if you manage to play through the lines, and if you make the right decisions, the pace of Madueke on one side, the pace of Eze, I assume on the other, unless, you know, he plays through the centre. Even then, Martinelli still has pace. If you trust Martinelli enough, like, and tell him to actually go against his man rather than, you know, do what he did against Szoboszlai and basically cower away every single time. The pace on the wings, along with what Gyökeres can do, which is stretch defenses by going one way or the other, that pace is going to be terrifying. City aren't going to know what to do. City's defense is not going to know what to do. So I'm purely backing Arsenal to win the game. Obviously, I hope that City can get something out of the game. I do hope this is the one time where I'm looking at City and going, please do something, get a draw at the very least in this. But yeah, I couldn't agree more on your take there, my friend. Like I say, again, I think home advantage is important, like you mentioned. But yeah, I just hope City can do something. I really do. Do you think De Bruyne can do a number on Man City tonight? It will be interesting if obviously he could. It would be interesting if, I mean, it's written in the stars, isn't it? It's written in the stars for De Bruyne's comeback. But we shall see, man. I'm sure he'll get an incredible ovation from the City fans. So it's going to be, it's going to make for great watching. I'm confident, but my only worry is Donnarumma. Plus, we need revenge over Donnarumma. This is a test for Man City to get back City people know this, because come on, seriously, they play Man United. Anyone can do them. I mean, if it were, to be fair, bro, if they had a better goalkeeper, you might have struggled in that game. But I get your point. I do get your point. Man United are a mess right now. But having said that, look, they do have a quality goalkeeper now. Does that quality goalkeeper mean that their defense maybe becomes a bit more confident? There's a bit more leadership back there? Potentially. We shall see how it goes. But, you know, I've never been convinced of this Donnarumma guy. I've never been convinced that he's properly world class. I think he's decent. And last season in the Champions League, the guy was like a man possessed, 100%, no doubt about it. But I've never been completely convinced he's world class. And like I say, I still think that you can create enough opportunities. I still think you can create a good number of opportunities to win the game. I really, really do. So, yeah, I'm backing Arsenal this weekend. Backing Arsenal. Please, will you accept that we are and always will be the bigger, most popular team? Thanks. Not always. No. So no, you will not always be. Especially if you continue down this trajectory that you're on, you certainly won't be, because as the years go by, as the distance between you and your last Premier League or major honour title continues to go by, you lose that pull. You lose that, and you know, you said earlier that you're the most watched team in the world. Well, enjoy that while it lasts, bro. Enjoy that while it lasts, because soon nobody will care. Even the haters that watch you to laugh at you will soon not care, because it's just Man United, and Man United lose week in, week out. So, yeah, I don't think that will be the case. Like, you're playing Chelsea this weekend. I don't think anybody cares. I think your club is on the verge of death. It's in a coma right now. Like, I don't think anybody cares. Like, Man United Chelsea used to be this incredible Premier League classic. And instead, I'm looking at it like, okay, Chelsea are going to win. And there's not even a doubt in my mind that won't happen. Now, if you prove me wrong, you prove me wrong. Fair play. And I know that Chelsea don't exactly have the best of records at Old Trafford. But at the same time, I'm looking at it like, I don't see a world in which United win this. They'll create opportunities, of course they will, because Chelsea's defence is awful. Chelsea's defence is absolutely abysmal, and their goalkeeper is shocking. But I don't see a world in which Chelsea don't score more goals than you. I just don't. Well done on 954 subs. Keep subscribing, everybody. I'll try and come back later. Big up, Balin. Thank you very much, my bro. Really do appreciate you being here. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. Big up, Alex is in the building. I don't think I've seen you here before, bro. So welcome along. Thank you for joining us on the live stream. Do you think that Marcus Rashford could perform against Newcastle? I mean, obviously, there is an opportunity. He's obviously going to be familiar with the way that Newcastle play. He's would he be starting tonight? Would he be starting, do you reckon? I'm just having a look, because I'm not fully aware of the team news. So the idea is that he could potentially fill in for Yamal tonight. Such a shame that Yamal isn't playing. Such a shame. Obviously, like I say, he'll know them more. He will know them a lot more. The problem with the way that I was going to say he's coming up against Livramento though, but it's probably going to be Trippier, isn't it? He could, I don't rate. I rate Livramento so much. I think he's a terrific talent. Trippier, somewhat past it. Still good from set pieces, but somewhat past it. So it could be a good opportunity for him to really shine and to kind of prove some of his doubters wrong. So if he's got that motivation behind him, depending on the way that that Newcastle and Barcelona both set up to play against each other, on the counter attack, Rashford could be lethal. We know that. I think Donnarumma is world class, and I wonder what happened between him and Enrique. It's a strange one. Yeah, I mean, after what he did in the Champions League, it seems so strange the way that he would turn against the main man that got him there. Yeah, it just seems very, very strange. Like, I don't know if we'll ever know what really happened between them, but he was such a big part of why PSG won the Champions League last year. Some of the saves that he was making, and obviously the penalty shootouts as well, was just phenomenal. And then it's just turned around. It's just the relationship broke down and he was kicked out the door. I know he only had 1 year left on his contract. Maybe there could have been some contract disputes in there, or maybe Enrique just didn't want him at all. I don't know. I don't know what the whole idea was. Yeah, strange. Enrique takes no prisoners. It's been revealed that he told stars like Neymar and Mbappe they should take a hike, and PSG's Champions League win shows he was right to make that clean slate at PSG. Well, yeah, I mean, Mbappe's head was already in Madrid, so there was no way around that Mbappe was going to stay on at PSG unless they offered him an even stupider contract than what they previously did. Mbappe was always going to be going to Real Madrid. Neymar was long past it. Neymar was long past it. And the reason why, obviously, that he's not really worked previously with Pochettino is because him, Messi, and Mbappe were never going to press from the front. And that is exactly what Pochettino would have wanted. That was obviously not going to happen because them three wouldn't play that way with Poch. So with saying that was never going to work. It was a style of conflict. Them leaving has made them a much more well-balanced, much more well-rounded team. But it's not the attack that is, in my opinion, their best asset. I've said it time and time again. It's impressive. It's fantastic. Love it. But it's the midfield. The midfield is so good. Maybe in terms of depth, you can maybe give it a couple of question marks here and there. But João Neves, Fabian Ruiz, Vitinha. It was so good last year. It was so impressive. It worked beautifully well together. And like I say, it's proof you don't need these top-level superstars to make you a team. You just need the right players, the right people in the right places, all working together, working hard. Got to have a bit of talent, yes, but you don't need them all to be superstars. I mean, when Vitinha was at Wolves, was anybody saying, let's take Vitinha? Was anybody out there going, this Vitinha guy, oh, he's too good for Wolves. He should be playing for a PSG or a Real Madrid or someone like that. No, you probably weren't. But now you are. Now you are. I'm seriously considering never coming back to watch you again. That is unless you admit that we are bigger and more popular than you. I understand you don't have to do anything, and it's completely your opinion, but I just wanted to let you know that. Bro, this is a channel which encourages everybody to state their own opinion. And if you are still saying that you are bigger and more popular, fine, fair enough. Like you obviously have that. I have the opinion that whilst you're still a massive club in England and around the world, I have the opinion and the prediction that popularity will slowly dwindle. Like I say, if you don't want to watch me anymore, that's up to you. That is your free will to waver as you will. I'm just saying that Liverpool, United, two of the biggest clubs, not just in England but around the world. You're still big. You're still big. I've never denied that you're not a big club anymore. I'm just saying that with every year that you constantly fail, with every year that you constantly dwindle, no one cares. Nobody cares. Nobody will care. Like I say, you said before, hated. What was it? Hated, adored, never ignored. You said that earlier. Fine, cool. But soon, if you don't change your ways, if you don't start making the right decisions off the pitch that will affect your performances on the pitch, the haters are not going to be tuning in much. Because I certainly have given up with you. Like I say, if you lose, it's like, haha, United lost again. But I'm not bothered anymore. Like, you're in the rearview mirror as far as what I'm concerned. Like, you're to me, you are anyway. Like, you're still going to be big when it comes to Liverpool versus United. When those games come around, when obviously we take on your lot in October, yeah, that's still going to be big, and that's kind of like your big game now. Like, that's the kind of game that you're going to be looking to, and you're probably going to be playing above your sort of level that you've set already this season. I get that. But right now, I'm not really focused on that. I've always had a certain level of understanding and respect for United. I even put you to finish 5th this year. That's how highly I thought you would actually finish, how well you'd actually do. I put you to finish 5th in my predictions video. And I think after the start of the season, I said maybe 7th, actually. Maybe 7th. But at the same time, I'm sort of here going like, you're still a big club, but at the same time, it's a fading giant. It's a fading giant of a club. And I say, you can have your own opinion on that. It's fine, fair enough. But to sit there and go like, you're bigger and popular. You're bigger and popular in terms of the fans that you picked up during the Fergie era. You've had a previous era as well in which you were massive. Fine. But the Fergie era is where it really turned up a notch. I'm just under the impression like it's It's not that big of a deal anymore. You're not that big of a deal anymore. That's just me anyway. I'm just going to call you Prime, bro. I'm just going to call you Prime. Really do apologize, bro. If you got a name for me that you want me to call you, then by all means hit it up in the chat. But thank you for being here. Really do appreciate you being here, Prime. What do you think of PSG versus Barcelona? Who's gonna win? That is what the final should have been last season. PSG Barcelona. That is what the final should have been. PSG will win. PSG more balanced. It'll be one hell of an epic game. Don't get me wrong. One hell of an epic game. But I think PSG, being the more balanced side, will get the win in the end. I think they've got some tough games, haven't they, coming up? PSG in the Champions League. So, of course, they've got Barcelona next. Then they have Leverkusen. Should be a win. Then Bayern, which could be a very, very tasty fixture. Then Tottenham again in a rematch of the Super Cup, of course. Then Athletic Bilbao. And then Sporting. And then, of course, they finish up with Newcastle in Paris. So they've got some tough games coming up, PSG. But again, they should have no problem. They should have no problems in winning their games. They should have no problems in winning their games. Who do you think will start against Everton? Because Kerkez is better rested, but Robertson has been in better form at the moment. Also, do you think Frimpong will start? I do. So, of course, Alisson's going to be in goal. I think this is the thing, though. Szoboszlai has been brilliant this season. Szoboszlai has actually been really, really good. And I think you have to play players when they're in their best form. So, but then again, do you just rest Szoboszlai? But then again, you can rest him midweek against Southampton. No. That's actually a good point, actually. With Southampton coming up, I'd go Alisson, Szoboszlai, Szoboszlai at right back. I'd go Konate, Van Dijk centre back. I'd go Kerkez left back. Even though Robertson has been in better form, I'd still. Then again, it's experience. No, Robertson. Go Robertson. Go Robertson left back. I changed my mind. Robertson left back. Gravenberch and McAllister in the middle. Salah on the right. Gakpo on the left. Wirtz behind the striker. And the striker will be Ekitike. Ekitike to start. He's had to come off the bench. Ekitike to start. That would be my plan. Have you seen the account HLTCO post about who goes through footballers' interviews and podcasts and everything? Should he post to you sometime? Who goes through? I haven't seen it, but I'm not there yet, bro. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet, bro. Who knows? Maybe if this takes off, who knows? He's entitled to his opinion. He's entitled to whatever opinions that he wants. As long as he's not crossing a line, we're all good. Neymar is so unserious and sabotages his career so much that I don't even put him at the top 50 all-time players anymore because he has a 0.0 longevity and had had a bad attitude, always injured or unhappy. As a footballer, as an individual, absolutely incredible. One of the most technically gifted footballers that I've ever seen. Incredible player. However, I think he should have done more. If you're looking at someone like Mesut Ozil and saying that he should have had more in his career, then I think you should be looking at Neymar and saying the same thing. He should have had more. And I understand why he left Barcelona, but he could have challenged himself in a Premier League era. He could have challenged himself in the Bundesliga or Serie A, and he decided to go to PSG instead. I think he should have done more of his career. Niche is hidden. Like I say, bro, he's entitled to his opinion. He's all right. He's all right. Do you think Emery might get sacked soon? I mean, if they lose to Sunderland on Sunday, Jesus Christ! If they lost to Sunderland on Sunday, I wouldn't want to be a Villa fan right now. They can't even score in the Premier League. They can't even score in the Premier League. I'd be worried. I appreciate your thoughts. I'm going away to think about what you said. I may or may not be back. Bye. Fair play to you, man. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Hope to see you again soon. If not, it's okay, bro. I understand. Big up Taki Tamer, who's in the building. How you doing? Well, my bro. It says, why are you so hairy? No idea, bro. Just the way that everything is happening right now. I don't know. Carol Prince is an account who posts about footballers on podcasts speaking rubbish and calling them out on this. Oh. What is it? Carol Prince. Have to have a look. This might be something I might have to have a look at. Yeah, might be something I have to have a look at, bro. Because there is a lot of strange opinions out there. Let's put it that way. Joe Gomez winner against Everton. That would be amazing. That would be amazing if we once again won the game 91st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th minute, because there's always seemingly late drama in the Merseyside derby. So don't be surprised if once again there is another 90th minute winner on the cards in this game. That would be amazing. Joe Gomez's first goal ever is a winning goal against Everton. That would be outstanding. Will Joe Gomez ever score for Liverpool? 10 seasons, not scored yet. He almost went to Brighton in the summer. Neymar went Saudi for good money and good wages in pay. Yeah, and he's set his family up for future generations to come. I'm sure he's got enough money to not just take care of himself and his family for now, but for his children's children and his children's children's children and children's children's. But at the same time, like I said, I think he still on a footballing achievement level could have attained more. He could have got more. And at the same time, with Joe Gomez, fingers crossed, he gets his first goal this weekend. That would be absolutely outstanding. Where are we at? Ademola Lookman should have went Bayern. They might not sign Luis Diaz if they sign Lookman, for example. Yeah, but we got some good money for Diaz. So I'm kind of glad he didn't go to Bayern in the end. We got some good money for Diaz, a 29-year-old winger who is seemingly enjoying life in the Bundesliga and with Bayern. So, I think a fresh start for both Liverpool and for Diaz is great. He also seemingly wanted to go last season as well, Diaz. So, we'll be watching. We'll be watching with interest. How do you think Wirtz can improve his form this season? By the way, great channel, and I'll be watching your streams if I can do. You have a stream schedule or just whenever you want to? Just asking. No, I mean, fair to you, man. I appreciate the compliments, and I'm glad that you're enjoying it, and I'm glad that you're here. So on the stream schedule thing, I try and do at least 2 or 3 lives a week, and if I do, it will be sort of around about this time. During the weekdays. Having said that, I think I've done about 3 or 4 this week. So I try and do it between 2 and 4 a week, stream schedule wise. I try and post something every day. So I'll try and put a video or a live stream or even a short video out every day. So there will at least be something new on the channel. If for whatever reason there isn't, it's either because there's been nothing that has really caught my interest or time in my personal life is restricting me from doing something. But for the most part, I will try to upload something once a day. As far as live streams go, it is pretty much whenever I can do. I try and do watch-alongs from time to time, but again, there's nothing consistent as of right now. But like I say, if there ever is a live stream, the majority of them will be around about this very time every week. So, yeah, I really do appreciate that, bro. I really do appreciate you being here and that you're having a good time. And as far as Florian Wirtz goes, I think it's just about him getting used to the Premier League. I think he's arrived from a team and a league in which he's been allowed a lot more time on the ball, a lot more touches can be taken from him to kind of maybe assert himself on the pitch and think about what he's going to be doing next. He needs to get just a bit quicker. And I think that with him already having the first few games under his belt of like, okay, this is the Premier League. Like, I'm getting used to it now. He will come good with time. I also think there's a physicality element that I don't think he's quite up to speed with or to a match yet for. I think he's working out very quickly. The Premier League is very physically demanding, very intense. And I think that he's probably thinking like, right, I have to like properly bulk up and I've got to like think faster and I've got to do things faster. I've got to play the ball quicker. And also, I think he's just got to get into more advanced positions. I think at the moment, he's seemingly dropping a little too deep to really have a proper effect on play. He gets a lot of touches, but he's dropping a little too deep. Yesterday, he was a bit more advanced. He was finding pockets of space. And maybe it's because he was in the Champions League and not the Premier League that was happening. Maybe it was also him having a different type of striker to Ekitike. I think Ekitike and Isak share a lot of similarities, but one of the things that Isak will do that Ekitike won't is he'll play on the last man. Isak will try and stretch the defense by playing on the last man and trying to go one way or the other. Ekitike, he's so much more mobile, and sometimes that can be a good thing, but sometimes it can also be a bad thing in terms of him dropping into the space that Wirtz wants to occupy. And that means that they get in each other's way. It means that if Wirtz does get the ball, he doesn't really have anybody more advanced to play the ball to. So I think he might work better with Isak than Ekitike, but I still think there are still some teething problems there with everyone. I still think that all the new signings, because there's been so many, I still think there are some teething in or bleeding in problems that I think will go away with time. I think it's just about giving them all time. I think Ekitike settled in pretty well. I think Frimpong has as well. Kirkes is still finding his feet along with Wirtz, and Isak's only played one game. So I think it's about these new signings gelling in and working well together. But I also think, like, just give him time. He's got to work into the league. He's got to find out what the league's all about, the physical demand, the intensity of it. And like I say, once he starts finding his feet and knowing where to position himself, getting to understand and getting used to his teammates as well, I think we will see the best of Florian Wirtz. But for right now, rival fans, as I said yesterday, rival fans, enjoy this moment. Enjoy the moment of bantering Florian Wirtz, bantering Liverpool not playing very well, or certain individuals not living up to the hype and expectation. Because when it all clicks, when it all gels together, when it all starts connecting, I have a firm feeling that Liverpool will be absolutely terrifying to anyone and everyone that they cross paths with. So enjoy it while it lasts, rival fans. Enjoy it while it lasts. But for right now, he's not performing at the level we know he should be or could be. But last night, I thought was a decent performance from Florian Wirtz, and he was very unlucky not to at least get one assist. He could have got a couple last night. Yes, indeed, it was a good question from Alex there. Joe Gomez goal against Southampton in the League Cup will be nice. You expect him to start in this? Oh, absolutely. I'm expecting a very much rotated side for Southampton. Mamadashvili in goal. Connor Bradley at right back, Robertson, unless he plays in the Merseyside derby, it will be Robertson at left back. If Robertson does play in the derby, it will be Kirkes. I'm expecting Giovanni Leone to make his debut as well, alongside Joe Gomez, assuming Gomez is fit. Midfield, I can see it being Curtis Jones in there. Maybe one of McAllister or Soboslai in there as well. It could be interesting. I think Isak plays just to get more minutes in him. So I think Isak probably does lead the line. And I think we give Engamoa on the left and Chiesa on the right. Or we go Frimpong on the right because, again, he's only just come back from injury as well. So, or we could just put him through them. We could just go two up top. We could go Engamoa on the left, Frimpong on the right, and go two up top with Chiesa, or maybe Chiesa drops as like a number 10 and Isak up front. That could be interesting. Would we get away with another late winner? Our midfield has made some risky decisions this season, leading to counter-attacks and conceding. I just want a Gomez-Wirtz late winner once again. Like I say, bro, the Merseyside derby is known for its late drama, so I wouldn't put it past another late winner happening in that game. It would be lovely to have Wirtz get his first goal, and what a time to get it against Everton, which would be fun. So fingers crossed on that. It would also be great if Gomez did it as well. So yeah, I'm intrigued by this. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Merseyside derby will offer us this weekend. It's going to be an interesting one, but yeah, again, it is a case of just getting everything to link up. First two games that we played, our defense was poor, but our attack was good. The game against Arsenal and Burnley, our defense was really good, but our attack was poor. last night, even though we did concede 2 goals, our defense was really good last night and our attack was really good. We just didn't take our chances. Like I say, we may have conceded 2 goals, but one of them was through a goal that should have been disallowed. And the second one was a goal that was somewhat fortuitous because of a fortunate deflection. But I have no problem with where we're heading. I'm seeing signs all the time that things in certain areas are getting better. And I think that, giving a few more games, maybe as well getting past the stupid and pointless international breaks as well. I think we will hit we'll hit our groove soon. We will hit a good run of form, a consistent run of form soon. Give Florian time, I say. Only been a few matches. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more, bro. Could not agree more with that. He just needs to get used to the league, man. He just needs to get used to the physicality of the league, and he also just needs to get used to his teammates as well. Because we're not used to having someone in that position like a Florian Wirtz. So we need to get used to him as much as he needs to get used to us. We're used to having Szoboszlai in there that would just basically run around like a headless chicken all the time. He wouldn't stand still. He wouldn't be in one place. Florian Wirtz is a lot more subtle than what Szoboszlai is. Florian Wirtz will work his way into these pockets of space where he can influence the game from there, pull the strings kind of thing. Szoboszlai was never really that subtle, but Wirtz is. So we need to get used to him as much as he needs to get used to us. Imagine the scenes of Joe Gomez scoring it late. I dreamed about that for a long, long time, bro. I thought it was coming last season. I was hoping and praying that he would do it in like the Carabao Cup final, or he'd do it against PSG or something. I was hoping and praying that that would be the case. It never happened. But yeah. I hope it's a big game he does it in as well. I would love it for him to do it in a big game. Not just any old game. I'd love him to do it in a big game. Whether it's like a Vincent Kompany against Leicester moment, or whether it's like in a cup final to score the winning goal. Champions League final this year would be epic, by the way. If there's anybody who deserves it, it's Joe Gomez, man. It is Joe freaking Gomez. 100%. Could not agree with you more, my bro. Bundesliga on YouTube post a video about Thiago. Do you miss Thiago Alcantara? I would love to have seen him play more for us if he didn't have those injuries. Those injuries, so frustrating, man. So frustrating. So frustrating. I'd love to have seen more of Thiago in a Liverpool shirt. Almost at the end. Can't be long remaining. Fletch goes live 1 p.m. at UK time, everybody. Take care. Yeah, I try to on most weekdays. But like I say, it's mainly... I would try and give like enough time and notice. But yeah, sometimes it might just be impulsive. Sometimes it might just be... yeah, whatever it is. But yeah, thanks, bro. Thank you very much, my dude. Thank you for joining me. As always, Balam, big up to you, my brother. You are awesome. Always happy and fun to talk football with you, my bro. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. Thiago Alcantara is now the assistant manager at Barca. Yeah, he went back to Barca, didn't he? Did he? I want to say he went there in the summer and left after like a week or so, and then he went back, or he was going to go, decided not to for whatever reason, and then has gone back anyway. He was either there and then he wasn't, and then he went back, or he was either going to go there. I don't remember. I don't remember which way around it was, but yeah, big step for Thiago, and yeah, fingers crossed that maybe if he is going to be going into coaching, that he may be the next kind of up and coming young manager. We shall see. We shall see. But yes, fun times. Like I say, Liverpool. Like I said, last night for me, Liverpool were really good, really, really good. The only criticisms that I have are we didn't score enough goals. That's the only criticism that I can say we didn't have yesterday. We just didn't have a team that scored enough goals last night. We could have scored 4. We could have scored 5. We could have scored 6. We won the game. Brilliant. I'm so happy we did, and we deserved to win the game. We created 7 big chances. What was classed as big chances? We created 7 of them. I don't think Atletico Madrid even I think they may have created 1. I think they created 1 chance, and I think that was classed as the Sorloth header in the final stages of the game. I think that was the only big chance that Atletico created. That's it. That was it. I thought yesterday we were very, very good from back to front, from front to back. I thought we were very good. I thought Isak's debut was solid. I think that Wirtz had a decent game. Not his best, but certainly not his worst. And like I say, he was so unlucky not to get at least 1 or 2 assists on the night. Szoboszlai was brilliant. Gravenberch was brilliant. Frimpong was solid. Robertson was solid. Van Dijk, imperious. Konate, decent. Alisson had nothing to do but pick the ball out the back of his net twice. The only one I can say it was somewhat underwhelming was Cody Gakpo. But even then, I don't think he was god awful. I just think I expected a little better from him. That's all. As far as everything else is concerned and everything else goes by, it was a solid game. Even the substitutes had an okay game and tried to make an impact. I can't really pick fault. Like I say, the only annoying thing was is that A, we didn't score enough goals, and B, we conceded a goal that shouldn't have been a goal. Because I think going into half-time at 2-0, we come out, it's a different game. Like I say, the goal before half-time completely changed the game in the second half. Whereas if we went into half-time at 2-0 still, it would have been probably a bit more of a comfortable result for us, in all honesty. But for whatever reason, the referee and the VAR didn't even check that Griezmann was in an offside position, which he clearly was. They let the goal stand, and the game changed. The game changed from there. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. But like I say, I thought we were very, very good last night. I thought we were very good last night. Sorloth had a big chance in the final minute with the header. Yeah, I thought that was the big chance. It was the one time he got between both defenders, and the cross just beat both Van Dijk and Konate. And again, I wasn't again, it was a big chance, but when you've got Alisson in goal, you kind of back the goalkeeper. When you've got a goalkeeper like Alisson in goal, you back the goalkeeper to get the job done, and that's exactly what he did. But yeah, I've got no worries, man. I had no worries about yesterday's game. I think it puts us in good stead for certainly a Champions League charge from now on. I think we're in a good position, man. And I think we are slowly clicking as the games are going on. I think certain players are getting up to speed. I think Szoboszlai, like I say, has been a great player this season. I think he's been a very consistent player for us so far this season. I think Salah's slowly starting to get back to normal. Ekitike's settled down really well. Frimpong's settled down really well. Alisson is Alisson. Van Dijk's been imperious for us. Gravenberch has been unbelievable yet again in that midfield role. I'm happy where we're at, man. I'm happy where we're at. And like I say, Florian Wirtz had a decent game yesterday, which could be a sign that maybe he is starting to arrive, shall we say. Starting to arrive. I heard that Yamal is not fit tonight. Not sure if that's true, but if yes, then Rashford could start. Yeah, it does seem like Yamal isn't going to be playing tonight. It does seem like they're not going to risk Lamine Yamal tonight, and they're going to obviously look at the bigger picture, which means that Rashford will likely start on the left. Could be the right, but it's probably going to be the left, which could be interesting seeing him go up against Kieran Trippier again. But yeah, I'm expecting a good game nonetheless, though. It's a shame that Yamal isn't going to be there, but I am anticipating a very interesting game tonight. Just to wrap up on a couple of things, Merseyside derby coming up this weekend. Absolutely big test for Liverpool. We know that this is Everton's cup final, with all due respect, but we know that this is their biggest game. Everton should not be taken lightly. They should not be taken for granted. We know that Everton always turn it up a few extra notches for this game. And they actually have started the season off pretty well, in all honesty. The signings of the likes of Jack Grealish and Kiernan Dewsbury Hall in particular have been very good additions to that Everton defence so far this campaign. So we know what we're going to be in for. We know it's going to be tough. We know that they're going to sit deep, low block, and try and hit us on the counter-attack. We know they're going to try and be a bit more flexible in that aspect. And it's just about whether or not they can really penetrate that back line of ours. As for us, we're going to be facing another low block, so it's going to be tricky to face. We're going to need to hope that the likes of Florian Wirtz is on his game, because that's what we bought him for, to unlock these low blocks. Hopefully, that will be the case. Or hopefully we bring on someone like an Engamoa, or someone with the pace of like a Jeremy Frimpong as well, that can offer something a little different to break down the back line of Everton's. But I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident that we will get the job done. I'm pretty confident that Liverpool will get the job done. We will win the game. Not going to give my prediction just yet, because there is a Premier League predictions video that is yet to come out. That will be out either tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I really am looking forward to the Merseyside derby. Fingers crossed for us, and fingers crossed that we are not left embarrassed come the end of the game. It is a 12:30 kickoff. We know how awkward they can be for us. History tells us that. But yeah, I'm still anticipating Liverpool to get the job done. And finally, Champions League continues tonight. We've got two English teams in action. Manchester City take on Napoli. And of course, the big one that we've been briefly talking about throughout the entirety of this live stream, Newcastle taking on Barcelona, their first game back in the Champions League after a couple of years. And I, for one, cannot wait for these two games. I think Napoli stand a very good chance of getting something against Man City. I think Kevin De Bruyne's return to face his old club as well will obviously be the headline and the story going into that game. And as for Newcastle, Barcelona, again, such a shame that Yamal doesn't look like he's going to be there. But still should be a good game nonetheless. And I am anticipating Newcastle to get something out of the game purely on the basis of them being at St. James's Park, being the first game back in the Champions League. I think they can really give Barcelona a good game tonight at St. James's Park. I'm looking forward to it, man. As far as predictions goes, I'm going to say that Newcastle-Barcelona finishes 2-2. And I'm going to say Man City-Napoli. As much as I can see Napoli getting something from the game, I think Man City just have enough firepower maybe to get the job done. So I'm going 3-2 City. I'm going 3-2 City come the end of the game. And that's why I think City will start with a win. Newcastle will get a point. And it's going to be, either way, a great night of Champions League football, as the past two nights have already been. But this night is going to be even special. Look, thank you to each and every single one of you for joining me. I really cannot thank you enough, guys. You guys are absolutely awesome. Really do appreciate you being here with me. If you haven't already, please do feel free to hit the like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. Let's say, I'll be back soon with the Premier League predictions video. I'm not decided yet whether I'll be going live tomorrow or not. I'm not 100% sure whether I will be able to or not, but stay tuned if I will be. Like I say, thank you to each and every single one of you for the love and support on the channel. Really do appreciate it. You guys are absolutely unbelievable, and I cannot honestly thank you enough. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. I will see and speak with you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I will see and speak with you all again soon. Very, very soon. Strange ending. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Have a good rest of your day. Speak to you all again very, very soon.